Fabulous flute players. That is Miss Ramsey here, and this is going to be your first I play, you play video. So what that means is we're going to be doing some things together, but oftentimes I'll play something, maybe a whole note for 4 beats, and then I'll have you imitate. So I would play, and then you would play. So you need a few things for this video. Number 1, you need a hardback chair. So I'll probably stand because my camera's so high, but you guys should be sitting in a chair. Ooh, that's a bad camera angle. Now you still can't see it. Oh my gosh, everyone. You should be sitting right in a hardback chair like this. And then you're going to need, in addition to that, your head joint for your flute. And I've already lost it. Oh, here it is on my laptop. Your little red straw. So those are the 2 things that you are going to need sitting up nice and straight in your chair. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm going to stand so I can get really close to the video so you can see everything that's going on. So if you need to go get your chair, your straw, or your head joint, please go do that. You can pause the video and then come right back. All right. So now I am standing. And we're going to start off first by playing on our fake flute. Your fake flute is your first finger on your right hand. Your first finger on your right hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it right in this crook or ditch of our chin, right here. It's not going to be floating around. It's going to be kind of stuck right there. You can see. And we're going to just say the word poo. When I say the word poo, my mouth doesn't open really. I don't go poo or poo, poo, right? It's just, it's kind of like if you've ever seen someone sleeping and they're just going, right? It's just very subtle. Okay. So everyone say poo. Now, we're just going to let our air keep going. So we're going to go, and we're going to do that for 4 beats. So what we're going to do, and your air should actually move fast. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be, it should be energized fast air. Okay, so it's not like insane. It's not super relaxed. It should have some energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it for 4 beats, and then you'll do it. So it'll be Miss Ramsey, and then you would imitate. All right, here we go. So have our finger up, down, up, ready, set. Here I go. Your turn. 4 beats long. Your turn. Your turn. And some things to think about. We're not pulling our lips back. We're not going, okay? We're not like trying to kiss our finger. We're going to let the air do the work. The air pushes out, okay? Your lips just let it happen. All right, let's try that again. So I'm going to start down, up, ready, set. Here I go. You go. You go. You should have just stopped. All right, so now instead of going, we're going to start it with a T. So we're actually going to say, so if you say two, you feel your tongue. So if these are my teeth, your tongue's kind of right behind where your teeth and your gums meet. There, sorry, I'll show you my mouth. And your tongue just goes, say 2 with me. It starts there and go down. So when we start this again, we're going to make the same shape. Our air's going to move the same way. We're just going to start with that tongue starting up and going down. Let's try it. So I'm going to start first. Down, up, ready, set, here I go. You go. Your turn. You go. Last time. Very good. So we're saying our tongue's behind our teeth. And same thing, we just let that air move. And the air is kind of energized, but it's not like, we're not trumpet players, we're not trombone players. We're letting the air move kind of quickly. Okay, so then here's our next step. We're going to take the head joint of our flutes. All right, so your flute head joint, you have your embouchure hole. Here's your lip plate. And on the back side, you have a little mark of fingernail polish. That is going to face you. So that's, if you're holding it up to a camera, your screen, you wouldn't see it just like right now. You can't see mine. And I'm actually going to hold my flute right here, right where this little knob is. And then I'm going to hold it not this way. I'm going to take my hand the other way, like that. And we're going to put it in the same crook of our chin. And it's not going to be like rolling around our face. It's going to be stuck right there. Okay? So, and if you look at mine, I'm going to have my embouchure hole. The hole is going to be lined up with my nose. So if I roll it this way, see how they're right in line? It's facing straight up. It's not rolled out this way, and I'm not rolling it in this way, so it's covered straight up. So you guys can kind of see. You can almost see a little bit of it on the camera, just a little bit. So this is lined up with the hole in my flute. This is parallel to the floor. I have my hand around. And I'm going to make that same sound. So I'm going to be going. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and try that on your own? Now, some reasons why we can't get a sound is there's a few things. We could be rolled out too much. You see how you can see that? I can't get a sound. If I'm rolled in, I get a sound, but it's not the right one. And another reason is the direction of your air. So your air could not be in the right place. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this down for a second. We're talking about air direction. So everyone take their hand. And I want you to find kind of right below your middle finger. There's kind of like a little knuckly thing right there. And you're going to put that knuckly thing right on your nose. How beautiful. Look at us. We look amazing. And then you're going to pull that 3 feet away. 3 feet. 3 inches. Sorry, I don't know units of measurement, everyone. 3 inches from your face. So it's right there. So your nose would be connected to that. All right. Now, when we are playing our flute, we're going to be moving our air in different places. And to start, we want to aim our air at where our wrist would be. So why don't you go and try to get it to aim right here on the very top of where your hand and your wrist meet. You can say 2 again. Now, try to aim it to go up so it's in the middle of your hand. Now you're going to go back to your wrist. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to start here, and then we're going to aim it up here, and then we're going to go back down here. I don't know if you can see, there's a little adjustment with my jaw. As my air goes up, my jaw is going to come out. It's going to push forward. So you can practice that. So when we are doing this head joint work to start, you're going to be aiming your air down here. Okay, so your air is actually going to be below your flute. You're going to aim your air down here. And you can even take your hand on your flute here and take your other 2 fingers and aim it down here. If you're trying to get your air up here, we don't get a sound, right? So try that. We're going to have our head joint open. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put 4 beats on, and I'm going to play. Okay, I've got this. The hole is pointing up. It's in line with my nose. My flute is parallel with the floor. It's not tilted down or tilted up. And I'm going to be aiming my air down here. And if you go to make a sound and it doesn't come out, first thing you want to adjust. Don't just keep trying to do the same thing over again. If it doesn't work, you got to make a change. So either adjust where this is. Maybe you tilted it out or tilted it in too much. Make sure it's straight. And then make sure you check the angle of your air that you're going down here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go, and then you'll imitate. Down, up, ready, set, and go. Your turn. Your turn. Your turn. And stop. All right. So whenever we're trying to play our flute, if you're not getting a sound, don't just keep trying to do the same thing. You have to make an adjustment. Either maybe this opening's too big. Maybe you're doing this or that. Remember? Go back to your fake flute right here. then put that in. Make sure this is pointing to the ceiling. So if I actually take my straw, oop, I keep dropping my straw today. 5-second rule. Okay, if I were to take my straw and put it, it should be facing straight up. It shouldn't be tilting in or out. It faces straight up. And remember, this part of your lip is touching right here, so you can check that. Practicing in front of a mirror is a great thing for flute. I'm going to do this. So make an adjustment. If your sounds like that, you might just need to roll out this way. Or if you're not getting a sound at all, that means your air is going here or going there. Aim it down. Aim your air towards your fingers. So you always have to make that adjustment. Okay? Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again if it's not working. All right. So we're going to do that one more time. Remember that? So I'm going to play for 4 beats, and you're going to play for 4 beats. Remember, your air should move fast. We don't use like petite little quiet air. We move that air nice and fast when we play the flute. Okay, here we go. Down, up, ready, set, and go. Your turn. Very nice. And if you're having trouble get that sound, remember, take that, put it right here, 3 inches out, aim for your wrist. And when if you can regularly hit that, then try bringing it up to the middle. You can see we adjust our jaw to do that. Okay, we're going to try something a little bit weird. You guys ready? We're going to say hot dog. Say it with me. Hot dog. Anyone like hot dogs? I love hot dogs. I only actually really like the red hot dogs. I think they are better than the regular hot dogs, but that's my personal preference. Okay, so we're going to say hot dog. Say it with me like that. Hot dog. Now we're going to move our air the way we said it. So we're going to go. See how fast that is? Try it again. Say it again, starting with our T. Again. So then we're going to put our flutes up. Make sure that's pointing up. Oop, tilt that. Okay. Now we're going to move our air that fast. It's going to be that energized. So it's like our hot dog. Ready? You hear how big that sound is? So as long as this is lined up and we're aiming our air down, our air should move that fast so we get that big flute sound. Flutes play with a really big sound. People think it's a dainty little instrument, which it's a small instrument, but that doesn't mean it has to be with a small sound. So, hot dog, say it with me, hot dog. I bet you didn't think you'd say that, hot dog. I learned how to play the flute today. Miss Ramsey said I have to say hot dog over and over again. All right, now we're going to go. Ready, and go. Do it again, go. Now I'm going to bring my head joint up. I'm going to check that this is parallel to the floor. The hole is pointing to the ceiling and in line with my nose. Remember, you're going to aim your air down, but we're going to have that fast energized air, so it's like hot dog. Ready, and go. Try it again, go. Very nice. So you can pause, practice, play it without the flute first. If we can get it without the flute, then it'll be easier when we add the flute. That makes sense, okay? All right, now we're going to try something else. You guys had a sheet that was called Head Joint Happiness. Do you guys see that? It's beautiful. So at the beginning of it, I wrote the word open on my own copy because we're not going to be covering the end of our tone hole. So if you have your head joint happiness, you can get that out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do line 1 and line 2 of this. Oops, I can't point. Line 1 and line 2. And you're going to copy. So I'll play in this measure, and then where you see the rest right there, that's where you'll play. So I play, you play, I play, you play. So I'm doing lines 1 and 2. And if you don't have your paper, you literally can just imitate what I'm doing right now. Okay, here's head joint happiness. And you might see me looking over just to make sure I'm in the right spot. Here we go. I'm going to play first, and then you imitate the measure after. Okay, check your flutes in the right spot. Remember, you can always adjust. Down, up, ready, set, here I go. Very nice. Now you could hear, after the first half, we had 2 notes in a row. And my air kept moving for 4 beats. My tongue just interpreted. Ta, ta, that's all it was. Now, if you look at your head joint happiness, if you want to keep trying on your own, you see right here it says close head joint? Because when you get to line 4, you're going to close your head joint, which means you take this hand and you put it in the end, you get a different sound. So if you want to try continuing on your head joint happiness piece, you can. So they show a low note. So let's actually try that. We're going to do, you guys can be extra fancy. And if you're still having trouble getting a sound, don't stress. Everyone at the beginning of flute moves at a different pace, and all we have to do is make adjustments. Make adjustments, make sure this is, your hole is pointing up, it's in line with your nose. Make sure we're using fast air. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to do line 1, 2, 3, and then where it says close head joint, we're going to close our head joint and go to line 4. Okay? All right. And if you don't have your sheet to follow along with, you can literally just follow what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Here we go. You play it this way. Now 4 quarter notes. That is the end of line 4. So you have this video to practice along with. And remember, if you're having trouble getting a sound, check this out in the mirror. Make sure this is up. Okay, this is not tilted out, parallel to the floor. And sometimes you might slide over. And having a mirror, just like when I'm watching myself in the video, I can see it really clear. Practicing in front of a mirror is like one of the best things you can do for the flute. Remember, hot dog, hot dog. Let me get that big fat flute sound. All right, happy practicing, flute players.